What's your question?
It states, I'd like to ask about these verses. It states, Romans chapter 3 verse, Romans chapter 3 verse 29.
Let's go.
It states, is he that the God of the Jews only? Is he not also of the Gentiles? Yes, of the Gentiles also. See,
Okay, you got the Bible dictionary, yeah? Get the Bible dictionary. So what have you? So from reading that, what's your first initial thought?
Bring it up. Seeing it is one God which shall justify the circumcision by faith and the uncircumcision through faith.
Okay, so let's go. From you reading that, what's your understanding?
That he's not just a justifier of the uncircumcision, but also of the circumcision. So both the circumcision and the uncircumcision who believe in Christ.
Okay, now let's start from the jump. You mentioned about the Gentiles, yeah? You mentioned about the Gentiles. Let's start there, because then you're going to get a clear understanding of who the circumcised are and the uncircumcised. You understand that? This precept must be upon precept. The way you read the Bible is old and new. You understand? The prophets of the new, they quoted scriptures from the old. You understand that? So when they're talking about Gentiles and uncircumcised and circumcised, they're talking about a history in the book. You understand that? Now let's get the term Gentile. Let's start there.
This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Gentiles, page 195. Usually, it means a non-Israelite people.
So, this is how it starts with the definition of Gentiles. It says, usually, it means a non-Israelitish people. Usually, it means a race. It means races of people that are not Israelites. Does that mean all the time? Or does that mean sometimes? DG, what does the term usually mean? If I say to you, usually you walk to town, does that mean you always walk to town, or do you find other ways of transport? Say usually you walk to town. Does it mean you walk to town all the time?
The question sometimes.
It means sometimes, most of the time, you may walk to the town, yeah? But not all the time.
That's right.
Sometimes you may ride the bike. Sometimes you may jump in a taxi, catch the bus, the tram. You understand? Because it says usually we see him with that hat on. But it's not all the time we see him wearing that hat. You understand that? So let's break down what it means. So go back. Go back. Slow down. We're trying to break it down slowly for him. Yeah? We're going to give him the milk. Yeah?
Get out.
The Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Gentiles, usually it means a non-Israelite people.
Usually it means a non-Israelite people. So that means when you see the term Gentile in the Bible, it doesn't always mean people that are not Israelites. There's instances in the Bible where Gentile is actually talking about the Israelites.
Bring it up.
Your next question should be, how? What do you mean? Let's show you. Get me, is it in Matthew, Galilee of the Gentiles, yeah? 4:14, that's it. Let's get it. Let me show you the history of the Jews.
Matthew chapter 4 and verse 15. The land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles.
Now, the Bible verse is telling us that two of the tribes of Israel are in a place where we call them the Gentiles. Read them two names again.
The land of Zebulun.
So we had Zebulun, which is one of the tribes of Israel,
and the land of Naphtali.
And the children of Naphtali, that tribe, are over in a place not in Jerusalem, and they are labeled, it's called the Gentiles, the land of the Gentiles, yeah? That's two Israelite tribes, yeah? So that doesn't mean that they're they are physical Gentiles, that's showing you something, that these people are being called Gentiles because of the way they're moving and the way that they're conducting themselves against God's law. And what does now let's deal with the actual term Gentile. What would the term Gentile actually mean? It will mean someone that's not an Israelite. Yeah, that's what the actual term means. Yeah. So when you're talking about these people, the Jews over there, they are moving like Gentiles. You get it? That's why they've been labeled that. Now let's get that Hosea. Let's get Hosea. Let's get Hosea 4. Yeah, start from verse 6.
Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Now this is historic now. Now we get in Old Testament. God says his people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Yeah? So the Israelites, which are God's people, they are destroyed because they lack knowledge. What is knowledge according to the Bible? Malachi. Let's get it. Malachi 2.
Malachi chapter 2 verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth.
So knowledge is the law. When you read about the priests of Israel, they always confess the law. They judged by the law. They were the upkeepers of the law, which was the tribe of Levi. They were the priests, yeah? So let's say there was an issue, you would take it to the judges or the priests, and they would judge matters by the law. You understand that? The laws of God. So let's jump back to Hosea 4. God says his people, the children of Israel, are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, meaning they don't keep the law. You understand that? They've gone astray from God's laws. So they're destroyed mentally, physically, and spiritually. Now we're going to see the type of destruction they're in.
Hosea chapter 4 verse 6. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me.
Now God says, because the children of Israel have rejected God and not kept his laws, I'm going to reject you also. The same way God rejected the Gentiles, the other nations, the original Gentiles, because God doesn't deal with them. He's never gave them his laws. He's never gave them the understanding of this book. He only chose and gave the covenant to the children of Israel through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You understand that? The covenant and the oath was only given through that lineage. No other nation was given it. So he said, because you rejected my covenant and my law, what I gave you, God gave, the creator of this earth, gave that to our forefathers. And we said, F you, I'm not keeping your laws. God said, alright, I'm going to reject you now and treat you like Gentiles. But keep reading.
Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
Keep reading.
As they were increased, so they sinned against me.
So as we increased as a people, we got worse. We committed more sins. Now I'm going to show you the sins, what we committed, what caused us to be called Gentiles, and what caused the circumcised to be departed from the uncircumcised. Yeah? Let's go. Let's get verse 4. No, yeah, start from 15.
Hosea chapter 4 verse 15. Thou Israel, play the harlot, yet let not Judah offend, and come not ye unto Gilgal, neither go ye up to Bethaven, nor swear the Lord liveth. For Israel slideth back as a backsliding heifer. Now the Lord will feed them as the lamb in a large place.
Now, God called us a few terms there. God called us heifers, he called us backsliders, and he called us harlots. Now, those derogatories, are they good terms or are they bad terms? Huh? So he called us harlots, he called the children of Israel harlots, backsliders, and heifers. Are they good terms, what he's called us, or bad terms? They're bad terms. So God is saying that we're moving like harlots. in the midst of whoredom.
That's right.
What do harlots do? They sleep around with many people. They don't keep no cleanliness.
That's
You
right.
understand? They take this, they take that, they take that. This is what Israel was doing here at this time. They were going off and taking doctrines and taking laws of all these other nations and taking their idols and their customs. You understand that? And they were not following God's law or customs. So God called us harlots. You understand that? We weren't loyal to one. We was going with everyone. Yeah?
Verse 17.
This is the kicker.
Ephraim is joined unto idols.
Now it says Ephraim is joined unto idols. One of the tribes, Ephraim, which is the head tribe of all them 8 down. Ephraim, which you would call the Gentiles or the uncircumcised, they went onto idolatry. You understand that? They went into idolatry.
That's
Hardcore. The tribe of Ephraim created all them gods. They had gods for everything. They had a god for the land. They had a god for the sky. They had a god for the moon. They had a god for clothes. They had a god for the air. They had a god for life. God for crops. They made gods and idols for everything and they worship them. Go on.
Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him alone.
God said, because Ephraim has gone unto idols, he says, leave them alone. Meaning depart. He told Judah, the top 3 tribes, Judah, Benjamin and Levi, to depart from the other tribes, Ephraim down. You understand that? He told them to depart, which was a split. You understand? In the nation of Israel.
That's right.
You've got the northern kingdom and you've got the southern kingdom.
The next section of the book opens with Solomon's son, Rehoboam, acting just like his father. It's a very sad story of greed and lust for power. He tries to increase taxes for slave labor. And under the leadership of Jeroboam, the northern tribes reject this, they rebel and secede, and form their own rival kingdom. And so now in the story, you have the southern kingdom, Judah, centered in Jerusalem with kings from the line of David, and now this new northern kingdom called Israel, whose capital will be Samaria eventually. Jeroboam also goes on to build 2 new temples to compete with Solomon's temple in the south. He puts a golden calf in each one to represent the God of Israel. The connection to Exodus 32 and the golden calf, it's all quite explicit.
The southern kingdom, they still had the book, you understand, of the law. They still upkept the laws of God to a degree. They still were in sin. They still went off, but they didn't go into mass idolatry or mass sin. All sin's bad, but the tribe of Ephraim down, they went into the worst sins ever.
That's
you understand? Eating each other, all of that stuff, cannibalism. That's what the tribe of Ephraim was going into.
No kukulkan sik yung kan amuku chochik lekaba yete lupetik tuksale but naisik awol utial hilalamu utial usap malokta kluma mentone tanbet kasut Ipasel yete lagi kere kakasisik kluma tu show ki back to no Satan
Mother goddess, all sorts of mad stuff. That's what they went into. So God said, Judah, leave them alone, split from them, depart. Yeah. Now, no, jump down now to Hosea 8. Yeah. Now, when you read Hosea Hosea here talks about how Israel went off and how we become the term Gentiles. You understand that? Now, keep verse 8 and 8.
Hosea chapter 8 verse 8. Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles.
Among the who?
Among the Gentiles.
So, Israel, when you read in the Bible, usually it means the whole nation of Israel. But there's times in the Bible where Israel is talking about Ephraim down. Yeah? There's times in the Bible where Israel is labeled Ephraim down. Yeah? Ephraim down. This is why we have to read the Bible backwards and forth. You have to get the true understanding of the book, because it will confuse you. Now, it says Israel, what did they do? Start from the jump.
Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles.
Now they should be among the Gentiles. Now the sin, the idolatry that they're in has consumed them so much, they are now called the Gentiles. You understand that? Read it again from slowly.
Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles.
So now, guess what? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi are gonna now say, you know what? Because they don't want to hear the laws, because they don't want to be a part of this Bible, you understand? Because they don't want to keep that covenant, now we're gonna deal with them as Gentiles. So when we talk about them, yeah, like in the New Testament, let's go back to the New Testament now. When you read Matthew 4, yeah. When you go back to Matthew 4, now we understand why it mentions 2 of the tribes from Ephraim down, which is called Israel. You understand that? Let's read.
Matthew chapter 4 verse 15. The land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali.
So the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali. Look at them. Naphtali's at the bottom. Zebulun is there. That's from Ephraim down. That is the label, the Gentiles or Northern Kingdom. From Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, they were labeled the Jews. When you read about the term the Jews, it's talking about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. You understand? Or in Old Testament they were called Southern Kingdom. You understand? Now let's read it.
The land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles.
You understand? That was the term that we called them. That was what they were labeled. When you go beyond there and you go to Zebulun and you go to Naphtali, they are the Gentiles. You understand that?
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.